Okay, you guys, I'm so excited for this week's podcast. I have a special guest. She's special to me. And this week we are going to be talking about our new business education program, focusing on opening up a salon. We also have another business mastery program, but today we're going to focus on opening up a salon. So let me introduce our guest today. It's Christine. She's also the CEO of AW Lashes Marketing Guru. Hi, Christine.
Hi, Alexis.
How are you?
So good. I'm so excited to be here and talk to everybody today.
I know. I don't want to give too much away, but these topics are awesome. And they're going to learn so much from it.
I totally agree. As we have been talking with our influencers and other lash artists in the industry, so many people, the great thing about lashes, I think, and jump in, Alexis, as you're the actual lash artist here, but is that you get to be your own boss and that you get to drive and create your own career, however you want it to be. And for a lot of people, that's opening a salon. Not just working in a salon or being a solo artist, but actually opening a salon and having a salon. And so that's like a natural progression. So I feel like this course is super helpful for people that want to open a salon and want to have that be the next step in their career and how to manage and operate it.
I would say that is the next step, but as the lash artist, it is so daunting because a lot of us don't have amazing degree like you, Christine, and really know where to begin when we are launching a business or where to start. We just look at others and we're like, well, that looks amazing. I'll just do that. But, there's so much to go into it that, we don't want to make mistakes along the way. But, when you don't have a degree, you kind of sometimes do make mistakes.
Absolutely. Well, and lash artists, it isn't just exclusive to lash artists too. There are so many doctors and dentists. And Alexis, I know you could talk about this too with your husband just graduating from dental school. But there are so many people who go to school for, a certain specific profession, whether that's going for cosmetology or becoming an esthetician and then a lash artist or hair or whatever, or a doctor or, and you don't get the business degree. So you don't have all the schooling and the tools to be able to understand and put this business together. You're ready. You want to make it happen. You're a go-getter, but it's having these tools. And so I'm hopeful, as I know you are as well, Alexis, that this class will really help people understand all of these different specifics and really give people the framework to open up a salon with a lot of the documentation you'll need to put together a business plan and even like how to hire a CPA or a real estate agent and all of those different things that come into play that I don't think people think about when they're getting ready to open a salon.
Yeah, I totally agree. And like learning the language, like to have someone like me and you to already tell them, what a triple net is on a lease or, how much they should have or how much they should save to open up a salon. This course teaches all of that, as well as, a logo, a website, all the tips you share on finances so they don't even have to hire some certain things of it.
Absolutely. I just think, and the reason why I love this course and doing it with you as well, Alexis, is because you've actually opened a salon personally. You've been on that side of it. And then me on the other side, because my side hustle prior to AW Lashes and things like that was marketing consulting. And so I have helped tons of people open up a salon. And so I just feel like with the two of us and our knowledge and experience and actually helping people get the doors open and be profitable and not be, just like eating it for years in the red is just like, seriously though. It's crazy. The debt people can take on and the loans that they take on, it scares me. Being a mom and having kids, I just want people to be able to open a salon and be profitable and not have all of that worry about the debt and things like that as well.
Yeah. And just to give our listeners some more background, as they're still getting to know me and you, is I did open up a salon completely debt free, and you helped me with that on the marketing and business side of that. So I think we have so much knowledge for them to learn from us with that.
Absolutely. In fact, we should actually just get started at the beginning, because I know, we worked together in Utah, and then
Yeah.
when your husband got accepted into dental school and you had to move up to Denver, you had to start all over. It's not like your clients can follow you from Utah to Denver.
Oh
So
my God. Yes.
that would be a little bit of a travel. I mean, I'm sure somebody would, because, but I'm just saying. So, why don't we start there? Like, share a little bit of
Yeah.
your story.
Yeah. So I remember my husband getting accepted into Colorado and the daunting feeling of, moving my whole business from one state to another. So I know what it's like for these beginner lash artists, as well as, all stages of starting over. So I guess even tying it back to COVID, like I was like, all right, I've already started from ground zero. I can do it, a few times in my career. So yeah, when I was told we're moving to Colorado, the first thing I did was switch over all of my marketing tools to Colorado, even though I wasn't even living there, Christine. I just
I know.
I'm here, and people would message me and I would set them up an appointment for a future date of when I was going out. So that's kind of how I started, was with marketing on just Instagram, a free platform.
Yeah, absolutely. And there are so many free platforms. I don't think people understand. It's so often, like when I've been mentoring people or talking to people, I hear about how much they're spending. And quite honestly, if you have been saving and preparing to open a salon, and you have the money and the resources, and you want to be able to, focus in on doing lashes and hiring and those kinds of things, you don't want to worry about the website and the marketing. Yes, you can hire people, but there are so many free tools you can also take advantage of, so that you can put your money where you really need it.
Yeah. So that's the first thing I did, all for free, was switch over my social media to Colorado, saying I was here, talking to people, networking, using those hashtags and everything, and that way, and then creating a logo. And you are an amazing person to go to for logos. But where would someone even begin with a logo if they were to call you?
So the first thing, when I've helped people develop logos and do all of that kind of stuff, is the first thing I tell them to do is figure out what you like. Because literally there are so many different things, and a logo is really a personal expression of you and your business. And there are some right and wrong things, thinking about signage. You have to think about all of those kinds of things. Like, how is this logo going to look up on a building? Or how is this logo going to look on Instagram? Or how is this logo going to look on a website or a business card? But other than that, and making sure people can read it and it's nice and clear in that way, there is no right or wrong. It's total personal preference. So the first thing I would say to people is, you know what, just start, like, every time you're on social media, or every time you're surfing a website or whatever, or even when you're driving down the street, take a look and notice the logos and different things around you, and think to yourself, because everybody has like an initial reaction too, right? Sometimes you see a logo and you're like, oh my heavens, that is so horrible. Maybe it's like neon green, and I'm serious though. And you know what I mean? This is like, yes. So look at it though. And if you have that visceral reaction, like, oh my heavens, that is horrible, figure out why you think it's horrible. Is it because of the color?
Yes.
Is it because of the font? Is it because of the funny little picture they have in it? You know what I mean? Like, but I'm serious, like, understand what you don't like about it. And on the flip side, if you see some things that you love, like, maybe you go to, cookie stores are a big, huge thing right now. So maybe you go to the cookie store and you love their logo. Why do you love their logo? Is it because you like the cookies? Maybe. But, or is it because, you like the font that they picked or whatever? but start looking at that. Look at everything. Look at the logos and say, I like that. I don't like that. And kind of just save things, create a little album on your phone or on your computer or wherever of things you like and things you don't like. Because then if you do work with a designer for your logo, you can actually send them samples and say, okay, I've thought about this a lot and these are the colors I want to use. And this is the stuff I like. And this is stuff I don't like. And this is why I don't like it. And this is the stuff I like. And this is why I like it. Because, people can't read your mind. You have to be able to express what you like and what you don't like and make sure it's reflective of you. So that's where I would start, is just kind of keeping your eyes open as you look around and really understand that. And then also, if you don't work with a designer, we've talked about free tools. If you want to access free tools, I know tons of people use Canva or similar services like that. They have, programs that you can start working on and designing your own logo. They have different fonts, they have little images and things like that you can use. And so if you've gone through that process of figuring out what you like and don't like, you can easily create a logo. So, and that's your identity that you start with and can be kind of that starting point. So,
yeah. And I also would say, putting kind of what it is in the name, right? Just the other day, Ty and I were driving, and this is so, oh my gosh, we love healthy places, and we are driving past and it said Purple Greens. And Ty was like, look it up, maybe they have really good salads. And we looked it up and it was a weed store. And we're very novice, I guess, but anyways, I feel like having, for example, we love crumble cookies and, you go for
you're into health, Alexis. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, there you go. I just switched it completely.
It's all about balance.
Yeah. Purple Greens just didn't sound like, a place where you'd go and get marijuana, I guess. We thought it was a salad place.
Right? No, and I definitely agree. Understanding your logo and making sure, and this carries across even where you were talking about Instagram. And it will carry across into your website, being able to clearly articulate what it is you do. You want people to glance at your logo or at your website or at your Instagram page and immediately know this is a lash studio, or this is a med spa, or, whatever. You want that so super clear, because if people have to hunt around and guess at what you do, you're going to lose people and you're going to lose audience. And no matter what you do and how you move forward in your career, you always want to make it super easy for people to book with you and give them your money, no matter what.
Yeah.
So,
I agree. So, we've talked about a logo and Instagram and social media, and I know there's, websites. I know there's easy things but we're talking about, building a salon or a lash studio or things like that on a different level of just, the one-stop place. So I just kind of wanted to mention, I know there's Vagaro and things like that where they can just have an easy link in their Instagram.
Yep.
But what about an actual website, right? I feel like that's where we're taking this program of more serious lash artists trying to open up a salon.
Absolutely. Well, and honestly, there are so many options for websites. And I think this is where, and it's really interesting because I'll admit, I've specialized in my marketing consulting side of things, with people in the beauty industry. So I work with hair extension artists, I've worked with lash artists, tons of lash artists. I've worked with, even cosmetic dentists and all of these different things. And there are so many tools out there. And I think that becomes a little bit daunting, kind of like how we started out this call where we were talking about business. That back end, the finances, all of those kinds of things. It's just scary because there's so many things out there. And, if you do a search and everything, every website says it's the total solution or this or that. But honestly, this comes into play over another basic thing that people need to be thinking about is they need to understand their business. What is it that they're trying to do? I know when you opened your salon, you really decided it was going to focus on lashes. And yes, you did, have set it up so you had a couple private rooms, and you do have a couple of estheticians that work there and do some other things like waxing and skincare and stuff like that. But primarily it's lashes, and understanding your niche and understanding the way you want to set it up also plays into what kind of a website platform you're going to use and whether or not you're going to need to hire a designer or somebody to help you with it. Like, are you going to have a boutique as part of your salon? Are you going to have, or is it just going to be lashes? Is it going to be hair? And you have a ton of different services. So you need a bigger platform to be able to manage, in a very aesthetically pleasing way, like all of your services. So really understanding, where you want to go, how you want to do your focus of your salon, all of those kinds of things play into the decision of what website platform. If you are doing a boutique, some of the easiest websites to use and work with would either be like Square or Shopify, both of which have like a point of purchase, payment option. So like, because that's another thing you have to think about too. And Vagaro, I know, has this as well, but how are people going to pay you?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously though, not everybody has cash. Like most people don't. I never have cash on me, but I mean, seriously, I mean, you go to the grocery store now and it's like, no cash, please, exact change. There's a, coin shortage or whatever. So, and now with all of the legislation changing for, Venmo and stuff like that, because I know a lot of people were doing that and not necessarily claiming on their taxes and just kind of taking money under the table. But now you can't do that even. So understanding how
they're catching us. They're catching us, Christine.
I know. Busted. But understanding that and knowing like, how are people going to pay you? Are you going to use Square, which is a very general platform that a lot of people use and find very easy to use. And it can go from Square can act as like your booking platform. It can be a website. They have a very, like basically a free website tool, and it can take money and payment. But when you start adding multiple artists to that, it can manage multiple calendars. It can do payroll and all of those kinds of things, but then the cost is associated with it. So it's basically free if you're a solo, and then it adds on. And same with like Vagaro and Salon Monster and all of these different things, understanding like a booking platform, how it's going to integrate with the way you're going to take money. And then that also plays into your website, because certain website platforms can integrate directly into your website, your booking, which then makes it super simple for people to book and they never have to leave your website. So really, making some of those decisions early on will, carry over into what website platform you pick, and understanding your services and your needs will also play into that. So really you need to sit back and develop like a business plan and understand what services you're going to offer, how many people you're going to have working there. Are you a solo art? I mean, not a solo artist, excuse me. Are you going to be, a booth renter, so you're more of a landlord position, or are people going to be on commission where you're going to be needing to manage multiple calendars and all of those kinds of things? Are you going to be able to have like one booking platform for everybody? Or are you going to let everybody use whatever software they want for a booking platform and deal with checkout and everything else? And you're just more the landlord, and you have a website and you're just like pointing people to, different artists. So I really think that whole website piece needs to kind of fall in line, like after you've really developed that business platform and understanding. I know you kind of did a hybrid of the things I just talked about, with booth renters, but also having one website and one booking platform.
Yeah. I just remember sitting down, like you said, and visioning my salon in the future. And like you, circling back to what I want my services to even be, I primarily put lashes in the title because I felt very overwhelmed not knowing other services. Like, people talk about injections or having a full-on spa with massages and things like that. And to me, I'm kind of like to control things more. And I think it's just knowing yourself.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
knowing your personality, right? Like you don't want to, if you can like, delegate and things like that, which is such an amazing, and you have to learn that obviously owning.
I'm so horrible at delegation sometimes.
But I think that's why I put mostly lashes, is because I could control the quality and kind of help my employees or my booth renters with their skill versus, if someone came up to me and asked for a massaging technique or injections or a facial, I would feel kind of like a dummy and be like, well, you better go sign up for a course because I sure can't help you.
Right? I know, because the way you did it was focusing on lashes. You really were able to mentor and help the people that work there as well and have that quality control. I get it. I mean, and there are a lot of places. Med spas are kind of the rage right now. All of these different services and lashes with it, which I'm not saying that's a negative thing, but you need to understand and know what you want to offer. And I think that also plays into, developing that business plan, really understanding what you want to do. And how is your business going to be unique and different? How many competitors do you have in the local area? Because you also have to think, I need to have a clientele. There are so many things that play into this. And that's why, I really feel like our course, because we really try and outline each one of these things and kind of take it piece by piece. Because like I said, we're just sitting here and just in one conversation, you see how a website isn't just like, oh, let's just go hire somebody to do a website, because, you really need to have that business plan. You really need to understand what services you're going to be giving.
Yeah. Circling back to services, that would go into hiring, which we talk about.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to offer so many services, maybe you need to focus on hiring, a specialist in that massage category, because maybe you won't be the teacher, but you can hire someone to teach the new hires, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's so many, or injection, and all that, like hiring, maybe someone that's, more than just a nurse, like, you have to find a medical director and all those things to put all of this together. So I think at first focusing on that skill that you're amazing at, and then adding all those pieces would be biting off what you can swallow versus, taking in the whole thing.
Absolutely. And there's another thing too, like we were talking about, like really understanding what you're going to offer, because, if you decide, oh, I want it to be hair and lashes, which those two things do combine, because people like to get their hair done. They like to get their lashes done, but then you have to have plumbing. When you're having a lash studio, you don't need to have plumbing, you don't have to have sinks. You don't need to have that accessibility to water and whatever, like you would if you're doing hair, because you have to be able to wash their hair. You have to be able to do all of that. So just thinking about those basics, I really think, starting out, creating a business plan, understanding what services you want to offer, plays into the basics. And then it will also feed into like what kind of location, your website, all of those kinds of things, because then the complexity and the tools that you'll need to be able to address those, whether that is like in your location or your website and everything.
Yeah. I mean, when we were looking at spaces to get plumbing in certain spaces, it was about $50,000 just to have a sink.
Yeah.
So
because you have to bring a plumber in, and you have to bring in all those professionals, and you have to build it in, and it has to go to a drain. I mean, when you start thinking about all the complexities and the logistics of that, you either need to find a space that's like pre-set up, that's been a hair salon previously, or you're going to be paying a lot. Absolutely.
Yes. Well, so, I think there's so much we talk about during this course. I mean, we barely even surfaced it. Like,
we just barely scratched the surface in this podcast.
I mean,
for sure.
Seriously. I mean, there's so much, and I'm so excited because we have so many people that are trying to become salon owners already that we've talked to.
Absolutely. I mean, if we're positives of COVID is that, positives and negatives for all the businesses that have gone under. But as of right now, there's a lot of retail spaces on the market, and lashes are becoming more and more popular. They're kind of getting to that full swing where it's getting super common, and And man, there's so many people that want that service, and it's a great time to capitalize on that and get a great deal on a location and retail space and all of those kinds of things. So I really do feel like this course is really super timely as well.
Yeah, I would agree. So I am so excited for this program and everything it has to offer. And we are doing individual calls, group calls.
Yep.
There's so much we're doing for these soon to be business owners.
Absolutely. I mean, the course will start off, just so that everybody's aware, the course will start off and it'll be a 6-week long program. So it'll be an hour every week that we'll meet as a group, which is fantastic because the way Alexis and I have really set this up is that, yes, we have an outline and there's certain things we need to cover and go, but we also want it to be very fluid and flexible. So if when we're on a call, we see that there's a need for the group for more time spent in one area or another, we'll adjust the program to really meet the needs. And so we are going to limit the course size. We'll try and do the course a couple of times a year, but we really want to limit that size so that we really can be flexible and personalize the program. And then also included in the program, as Alexis just mentioned, will be a one-on-one call as well, so that you can really delve deeper in and get more information specific to your needs and your business. Also, in addition, there's a lot of forms. There's like a business plan, like a mock business plan that basically helps you go through and fill in the information for your specific business so that you have something to present and you have something to help you formalize your thoughts and feelings, kind of like we've been talking on this. And it helps you just like put everything in and together. And also, if you needed to get a loan, you would have to have a business plan and going over some financials. And as Alexis, I mean, probably a lot of you, I know, I look at things from this business side, but Alexis has had, boots on the ground and the triple net with the leasing space, going into those specifics, red flags, what to look for a commercial real estate agent, what to look for in a business, how you want to be analyzing that, how to build your clientele, how to decide whether you want to do booth, rent, or commission. I mean, what else, Alexis? I like, there's so much.
I know. I personally can just say I'm so excited because unfortunately, I know people that own businesses now that maybe are not doing well or things, and if we would have just been there for them from the beginning, I feel like they would be in such a different place. So that's why I just think this program is amazing.
So we are super excited for it. I hope you all go learn more about it. The registration will be opening shortly. So please jump in. As we mentioned, it will be limited space so that we can really customize it to meet the individual needs of the people who are attending the course. So, but we are super excited to meet and work with all of you and help you have successful salons.
Yes.
Woohoo!
So, I loved having you today.
Motherhood. I know, and balancing motherhood.
Right? I mean, how do we all do that? But yep. I'll be learning from you, Christine, with 4 kids. 5.
Yep, 5. I was like, this one, 5. No,
I missed Hannah. Just kidding. But, all right. I just wanted to say thank you so much for jumping on this podcast today. I know you'll be on many more. And thanks for all your wisdom because you've helped me so much with everything you've done for AW. And I just love having you a part of it.
Yes, perfect. Thank you, everybody. We're so excited to meet all of you.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.